Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to meet the news on Global TV. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu has appealed to 36 state governors of the Federation to begin paying the wage awards to workers pending the determination of the new minimum wage to reduce the hardship of the economy on the people. The president noted that if the states had implemented the wage awards, it would provide much needed relief without causing inflationary pressures. The president assured that the student loans and other economic measures would soon commence as steps were being taken by the government to relieve the people of hunger. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday submitted the 2024 budget for the Federal Capital Territory Administration to the House of Representatives for consideration and passage. The letter seeking the passage of the budget was read on the floor of the House during plenary session on Tuesday. It was, however, silent on the estimates. The proposal has been prepared on the basis of the FCTA revenue and expenditure focus and is in line with the fiscal and development policy of the federal government and the Renewed Hope agenda. After reading the letter, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, who presided over plenary, directed that the request be forwarded to the Committee on Appropriation for deliberation ahead of its budget passage. President Bola Tinubu has flagged off the Food Security and Agricultural Mechanization Program in Niger State, emphasizing that his administration remains committed to ensuring food sufficiency and protecting local industries for sustainable economic growth. The project, an initiative of the Niger State government, is for the deployment of cutting-edge agricultural machinery and technology for large-scale agro-value chain development in the state. Kikelomo Okere has details.
Speaking at the inauguration, President Tinubu says the event represents another step in the food security and agricultural mechanization agenda, declaring that Nigeria must enhance its capacity to feed its people and have enough food for export, while reiterating commitment in providing a comprehensive program that will solve the food security problem. President Tinubu urged subnational government as an immediate intervention measures to implement wage award in their state to complement the effort of the federal government in easing the burden of the citizen, pending when the minimum wage is increased.
And if all of you, I'm glad I'm facing Abdurrahman, have been paying the wages award pending the determination of new salary wage. Let all the subnationals start paying that. Let them. The wage award plus whatever they are taking now, and the wage award will relieve the public. Please.
Speaking on the student loan program, President Tinubu says there will be unemployment benefit for the graduate, adding that the social security benefit for the elderly and the vulnerable will commence.
The student loan program will commence. The social security program for the elderly and vulnerable will commence. We are fine-tuning all of that area. They're going to relieve people of hunger.
Appreciating the president for honoring his invitation and inaugurating the facility, Governor Mohammed Umar Bago says 4 states, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, and Lagos State, had already signed a memorandum of understanding on building partnership for the development of agriculture, adding that agriculture is key to addressing the challenges in critical sector of the economy.
Our commitment to addressing the challenges in critical sectors of our economy, and we shall seize every opportunity for the attainment of the growth and engender prosperity for the people of our beloved state and by extension our dear country Nigeria. On road infrastructure, to address these challenges and establish efficient road infrastructure and cost-effective and secure movement of goods and services, the state government embarked on an ambitious initiative to rehabilitate and expand some federal roads that have implications for the evacuation of agricultural produce.
We are on a conversation and ensuring that your vision at producing the required food security for this country is on track. And for us is to continue to do a peer review to ensure that we can adequately feed our citizens, produce more than enough for them.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, disclosed that the federal government had signed an agreement with the Brazilian government and German-Dutch bank group as financier of a facility of €995 million for the Green Imperative Program, which will provide mechanization hub across the 774 local government area in Nigeria when implemented. He added that the Green Hope Initiative is another veritable platform the federal government is deploying to ultimately change the deficit narrative in the Nigerian agricultural mechanization space. While in Niger State, President Tinubu also visited former Nigerian head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida and General Abdulsalami Abubakar, with whom he had fruitful discussion concerning the advancement of the nation. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The alleged budget pardoned by the Senate and its supposed implementation by the President Bola Tinubu administration seemed to be causing a huge division in the nation's upper legislative chamber. Senator Abdul Ningi, who represents Bauchi Central, told reporters in an interview he granted in Hausa language with a foreign media prompted the argument of whether the government is implementing the 28.7 trillion naira budget as passed or 25 trillion naira as reported. Ningi, however, maintained that he did not say that the President Bola Tinubu's administration was operating two budgets. Queen Agaba has the details.
The budget, which Onanuga seems to have dwelt on. I say we have established beyond reasonable doubt about 25 trillion so far has nexus in the budget. That means there is money, and then there is project, and then there is location. Money, project, location. But we are yet to ascertain 3 trillion of that budget. We have established the 3 trillion in the budget. We have not established its location.
Not long after Senator Ningi left the podium, his Ondo State counterpart, Jimoh Ibrahim, mounted and called on the federal government and police to charge Ningi with misinformation. He insisted that the claims by the Bauchi Central Senator were worrisome, totally untrue, divisive, and amounts to criminal misinformation.
Approve only one Appropriation Act for 2024, and we never approved two. The presidency of Nigeria cannot operate two budgets. They can only operate within the existence of the Appropriation Act of 2024. My distinguished brother, Senator Ningi, made this false information and is unacceptable, is causing uncomfortable pains to our integrity.
The presidency had on Sunday described as false a claim by Senator Ningi that the federal government is operating two versions of the 2024 budget. According to a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the senators claimed that the National Assembly passed 25 trillion naira as the 2024 budget is false, adding that 28.7 trillion naira was passed and signed into law by President Bola Tinubu. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
The Nigerian Senate has inaugurated an ad hoc committee to probe the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari over the 30 trillion Ways and Means advances from the Central Bank of Nigeria, which was approved by the 9th National Assembly. The National Assembly says the probing ways and means through which the current economic hardship came to be is imperative so as to ascertain why citizens have been plunged into crippling deprivation. Kike Lomo Okere has the rest of the story.
Inaugurating the committee in Abuja, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, noted that unraveling the mystery behind the advances remained key in understanding the country's present predicament.
With the investigation of the ways and means of about 30 trillion, including the expenses or otherwise, utilization, success or failures of the Anchor Borrowers Program. To the members of this esteemed committee, I implore you to approach your responsibilities with the utmost sense of patriotism, professionalism, and integrity. Your scrutiny or investigation demands impartiality and fairness.
According to Akpabio, the successes of the investigative panel hinges on collaboration, cooperation, and steadfast commitment for the benefit of Nigerians. He charged the committee to leave no stone unturned in pursuit of truth about 30 trillion naira ways and means loan advances.
Aside personal and partisan interests, focusing solely on the task at hand, by working harmoniously with the executive and all interest groups, we can ensure that the ways and means, so-called, and utilized in the country, even the one in the past, and if it should ever occur again, are managed prudently, efficiently, and in accordance with the laws of the nation.
Responding, Chairman of the 17-member committee, Senator Issa Jibril, assured that the probe will be carried out with precision to a logical conclusion.
Your Excellency, the implication of this is that Nigerians are waiting for the result of this investigation. I want to assure you that we are going to carry out this assignment expeditiously, but without any form of compromise. We are going to carry out this assignment expeditiously without any form of compromise. That I am assuring you.
The ad hoc committee has 6 weeks to investigate 30 trillion naira ways and means advances and 10 trillion naira expended on the Anchor Borrowers Program among the intervention programs. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
The House of Representatives called on the Office of the National Security Advisor to coordinate intelligence and security operations in the country, particularly in Kaduna State, following the last week's abduction of over 200 students in the Chikon local government area of the state by suspected bandits. The lawmakers also expressed worry that in spite of the 3.25 trillion naira security and defense spending approved by the National Assembly, the security situation in the country was far from the expectations of Nigerians. This was just as the lawmakers in the Green Chamber called for the control of small and light weapons and worsening security in some parts of the country. The House of Representatives mandated the Central Bank of Nigeria to restrain commercial banks operating in the country from holding reversed funds of customers beyond the timeline stipulated by the Apex Bank. The lawmaker recalled that on June 8, 2020, the Central Bank, in a statement, announced timelines for reversals and resolutions of refund complaints, including failed on-us and automated teller machines transactions. When customers use their cards on their bank's ATMs, shall be instantly reversed from the current timeline of 3 days. He also noted that where instant reversals fails due to any technical issue or system glitch, the timeline for manual reversal shall not exceed 24 hours. Refunds for failed not on us ATM transactions where customers use their cards on other banks' ATMs shall not exceed 4% hours from the current 3 to 5 days. The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union declared a 7-day warning strike to protest their withheld 4-month salary. The unions declared the warning strike in Abuja following a meeting of their Joint Action Committee in Akure, Ondo State last Thursday and Friday. The SANU National President Mohammed Ibrahim, who read the communique of the meeting to journalists, said the action became necessary as the federal government had refused to pay them the 4 months' salary withheld as a result of their nationwide strike in 2022. The federal government recently released the withheld 4 months' salary to the Academic Staff Union of Universities, which was also on strike in 2022 but ignored SANU and NASU. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has cautioned parents and guardians against enrolling minors in the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. The Registrar of JAMB, Professor Ishak Oloide, gave the warning while reacting to a suit filed by one Ifeanyi Eke against the board over alleged inappropriate text messages sent to her 15-year-old daughter during her registration. Eke had filed a 100 million naira suit against JAMB and 3 others before the Federal High Court in Lagos over alleged unsolicited and inappropriate text messages sent to her 15-year-old daughter. By reacting to the incident, Oloide said the board was ready to meet with the woman, maintaining that the sender of the message was not a board staff. Following the report of a civil unrest at Wuse Market, police operatives swiftly assessed and restored order to the scene. In a statement released by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer SP Josephine Ade, reveals out that one Ibrahim Yahya, 27-year-old, was apprehended by operatives of the Abuja Environmental Protection Board task force and was taken before a mobile court when he reportedly jumped from the vehicle and took to his heels in an attempt to escape. 2 armed correctional personnel who were in the vehicle went after him and in the process shot him. The said suspect was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors on ground confirmed him dead. The development led to some irate mobs who witnessed the situation set ablaze 8 vehicles and 10 shops in the environment. The whole fire situation erupted uproar from residents but was brought under control by combined effort of Federal Fire Service and other security agencies present. You're watching Midday News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles that are showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, reps ask CBN to restrain banks from holding customers' reverse funds. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, a team of experts from the International Civil Aviation Organization, the United Nations agency that regulates the global aviation industry, has arrived in Nigeria to carry out security audits of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The audit will cover critical aviation security areas such as in-flight security, passenger and baggage security, acts of unlawful interference, facilitation, legislation, training, quality control function, operations, and cargo mail and catering. More than 1,000 U.S. troops are expected to participate in the operation, although the Pentagon says there will be no boots on the ground. To help achieve that, the U.S. has partnered with little-known private firm Fogbo, which is run by former military and intelligence officials. The goal is to deliver aid equivalent to 2 million meals a day to Gaza, where the United Nations has warned that famine is almost inevitable without urgent action. In business, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has charged the panel members investigating the 30 trillion Ways and Means loans secured from the Godwin Emefiele Central Bank of Nigeria by the federal government not to leave any stone unturned, saying the panel must unravel everything about the facility. The panel was also charged to probe the over 1 trillion naira anchor borrowers program of the CBN under the immediate past administration, while inaugurating the 17-member ad hoc committee probing the 30 trillion naira loan obtained during the former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Akpabio charged the committee to spend 6 weeks in carrying out their exercise. The federal government has invited a memorandum from the public as it begins to probe the private universities established in the last 15 years. The federal government initiated the probe following an investigative report uncovering certificate racketeering in neighboring Benin Republic and Togo. No fewer than 107 private universities were established in the last 15 years. The Inter-Ministerial Investigative Committee on Degree Certificate Mailing set up by the federal government would be examining whether or not private universities established in the last 15 years have in place prescribed facilities, appropriate management structure, adequate funding of programs, requisite state and nature of the staff, full-time contract, and adjunct visiting or other types. The federal government has postponed the launch of the Nigerian Student Loan Scheme indefinitely. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Akintunde Sawyer, made this known during an interview. In June 2023, President Bola Tinubu signed a bill to start a student loan fund that would give interest-free loans to Nigerians from higher education. A former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, proposed the bill, and it was supposed to start between September and October 2023. However, barely 48 hours before the loan scheme was postponed due to some corrections that were being made around the launch. Workers of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company have embarked on the industrial action, leaving the residents of Kaduna, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi states in darkness. The workers under the aegis of the Nigerian Union of Electricity Employees commenced an indefinite strike after staging a protest over what they termed unjust treatment by the management of the company. The workers were aggrieved over 6 years unremitted pension, non-payment of the death benefit of deceased staff of the company, non-payment of exit package, the unjust sack of 7 staff of the firm in Zaria, and the alleged plan to sack over 1,000 workers of the company, amongst others. And jumping to the exciting world of sports, no fewer than 12 coaches yesterday beat the deadline for submission of application letters to the Nigerian Football Federation for the vacant post of the head coach of the senior men's national team of Nigeria, the Super Eagles, which was advertised last week. The federation had 5 days to declare the position of the Super Eagles head coach vacant following the expiration of the contract of former Gaffer Jose Preciado at the end of February. Among the applications received by the NFF are those from former head coach of Tanzanian national men's team, Taifa Stars, and ex-coach of the 2015 FIFA Under-17 World Cup winning team, the Golden Eaglet of Nigeria, Emmanuel Amuneke, Finidi George, who was Preciado's assistant coach, and former Super Eagles head coach Sunday Olise. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Time, Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.